Cleveland Crusaders were started to be a premier rugby side for Cleveland, Ohio. Cleveland truly is a rugby city. It has an incredibly strong rugby community. From the youth, high school, and college level, we're developing some of the best talent in the country. We're doing a lot to provide for players that want to come play here. We have a fitness partner with the local CrossFit gym that we work with. She's a former retired rugby player that focuses on our fitness and conditioning. We have a strength and conditioning team that have been professionally trained. They're professional strength and conditioning coaches.
So both of us are health and fitness professionals outside of this area as well. So I work professionally as a coach for precision nutrition, and I hold several certifications, and AJ does as well.
Yeah, I'm currently the director of strength and conditioning at Solon High School, and I've kind of been in the college setting for the past few years, but finally settled in at Solon High School.
We are lucky here with the Crusaders that the team has a drive to be better. So in that, we have reached out, and between us and some of our other professional contacts, have an overall program put together to help players develop speed and power.
With our program, we have people come from different ends of the spectrum. The program is built to build us all from the ground up, and like Dom said, it's a progressive program that kind of takes us through, and we can kind of add on things as we go.
We have an expert coaching staff that have been classically trained in South Africa to give us the latest techniques at our practices.
Go in, it's going to have to be double up on the tackle. Stop it. One guy taking the ground, one guy taking the pillar. I got the ground. Okay, tackle on the ground, tackle is through.
I'm over.
He gets that deep. If he gets that deep on the ball, what do I want this guy to do from instead of going, once he's the pillar first? But if this guy gets that deep on the ball, he's on his feet, what do I want him to do? Flood. So go right on through, get through the ball, boom, there you go, and flood.
My name is Donnie Harbert, and I'm the head coach for the Cleveland Crusaders Rugby Football Club here in Cleveland, Ohio. After joining the military, that's when I started playing rugby. Had a pretty successful career in the military, then continued to just move my way up the ranks until I played top division senior men for one of the best teams in the country, which happened to be the Gentlemen of Aspen at the time. And during my time there, we had 3 national championships in the first division. So I had, again, the very good fortune to be around a very high quality of rugby with teammates from South Africa, England, Wales, New Zealand. I certainly made the most of it by learning everything I could. And then when I stopped playing in 2001 after our last national championship when I was there, I began coaching immediately, and I'm in my 16th season coaching right now. Well, I'll start with the shorter term goals. The shorter term goals, we're really ticking off those boxes really quick. This is only our 2nd season in existence, and we're already nationally competitive. We are the 2nd in our division. A few more victories, we will return to the playoffs again, hopefully this year, and make a longer run. I'm pretty lucky here in that my players are still continuing to grow, they're continuing to develop. And the more that I bring to the table, they continue to digest and adapt, and we just continue to grow every time out. And that's a pretty unique experience for a coach.
Go. Defend! 1, 2!
This will be the 2nd year of the program. We've all been playing for, 10 to 15 years. A lot of newer guys as well that are just starting out. There's new guys came to practice today, and every practice the last couple weeks there's been 2 or 3 new guys. So it's growing every minute. It's like a brotherhood. Hang out together, you practice blood, sweat, and tears together, and then at the end of the day, you have a pint with your friends.
First and foremost, it's taught me about the sharing of energy with your friends and your teammates. When you have this, there's kind of there's a groove that you can get into when everybody's clicking, where you're able to do more than you ever really thought that you would be able to do as a single person. But that's because you know that you have, a whole team of guys that are willing to do, more in the same. And it really just kind of, it takes you to a kind of a new high where you realize that there is, there's power in people.
As a coach, you could only hope that at some point in your career you are with a club like this that is willing to make that commitment and willing to put their neck out there and make the sacrifices necessary to be successful. And not just be successful in the short run, but to lay the cultural foundations so that when new people come in, they see how high that bar is. And that bar is always raising, it's never lowering. And it doesn't necessarily mean that everyone's going to be the best player, but it's my job as a coach to make everybody the best player they can be.
Furthermore, Cleveland is truly a city on the move. The job market is strong, we're having conventions, our teams are winning sports championships. There's so much going on in our city. Every week, Thrillist is saying we're the best food city, the best brewery city. Leisure and Travel magazine is saying it's one of the best places to visit. We have probably the greatest pitch in the Midwest. It's right next to downtown Cleveland. It's Edgewater Beach. We're right there with the sand, the beach, the city, the backdrop is right behind us. It's right in the center of town. There's a lot of foot traffic. It's a rugby player's dream to be in such a central location. Socially, obviously we were here to compete at a high level, and rugby is #1 priority. Socially, however, we have some amazing sponsorships. Old Angle Tavern sponsors us for all our social events and fundraisers. They happen to be on West 25th, which not for nothing has been voted one of the top nightlife spots in the world, not the country, not Ohio, in the world. Just Cleveland in general. This is a vibrant town on the move. So many incredible things are happening in Cleveland. It's just absolutely perfect for the post-college rugby player.
Rugby is a unique global community in that no matter where you are or where you go, if you're a rugby player and you don't have a job, you may not have a home, and you arrive in a new place, if you find the local rugby club and you let them know you're a rugby player, you'll immediately be tied into not only a social network, but probably the largest global professional network as well.
Definitely one thing, if you're not from Cleveland or you're looking to finish up college, get us your resume. We're building our jobs network. We're getting people interviews, we're getting people jobs. There's jobs in Cleveland. Send us your resume, let you know what you want to do, and we'll get feet on the street to get you interviews and get you opportunities.
Part of our mission here as the Crusaders is to help round out that environment with an offering at the senior level that can compete at the highest level, and do it by developing American players. Right now, our international side with the U.S. men typically relies heavily on players they're American residents and they're employed here, but they were born and raised and learned their rugby elsewhere. But I think it's quite possible, and not just possible, but if we continue on our path, very likely, that here in Cleveland we will continue to develop the local American players and create international and professional opportunities for them elsewhere, which will then in turn help our national American select side.
Great thing about the Cleveland Crusaders that I want to emphasize is that we are trying to bring elite level talent back home to Cleveland. But the biggest thing about why we formed this team is that we want to provide opportunities for players. This was a player's decision to give players opportunity to actually see the field, compete at a high level, and that's what we want to do. So people of all talent levels, come on out, any background, any rugby experience. Crusaders are here for you so that you can have the opportunity to play.